Hey guys, thanks for joining. I'm so excited. By the way, these are my two dogs. I just took them on a walk and they're pretty sleepy. So is everybody like online? You guys here? Oops, that's too close to the mic. All right, I see that there's 5 participants. Perfect. Stacy, thank you. Kayla, thank you. Kayla, what's your username on Reddit? Laura's here. Argelia. How do I say your name? Oh, your purple cat. Perfect. And then Argelia, what's your username on Reddit? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, perfect. Argelia. Sorry about that. What's your username on Reddit? Okay, perfect. All right, cool. So everybody's here. So first of all, the way that I wanted to do this live was I wanted it to be a fun experience, like a social event kind of a thing, this reading. Because I do private reads and they're way more, very comprehensive and way more personalized, obviously. But I wanted it to be like, again, a social thing, yet still have it be very personalized, because I think that that's one of the greatest things about getting an angel reading or any reading. It's all about you, and it's all about self-care, and it's about healing and things like that. So the first thing that they want me to talk about is energy vampires. And when I mean I mean my spiritual team that are also, it looks like they're very close in proximity with your guides as well. They just want me to hurry up into energy vampires. So let me ask them where I should start. By the way, you guys, my name is Jackie, and my business or my channel is Heart to Heart Readings, and I'm an angel reader as well as a pet reader, and I bring messages from spirit to everybody. I see 6 people, and I don't know why there's 6 people here, but anyway. So, all right, let me see what they want to talk about energy vampires. So, okay. Interestingly enough, I don't know if you guys know much about energy vampires. If you don't, energy vampires, they basically need another person to fulfill their energetic need. It's kind of like food for them. So they need somebody else's energy to satiate them. So what they want me to talk about is energy vampires and how they actually self-inflict. Okay. And in my vision, they're showing me somebody that keeps stabbing themselves over and over. They're saying that, like, this is what you do to yourself when you think that you can't get what you need, right? Because if you think that you need to take energy from somebody else to satiate your need, you're basically telling yourself, I can't fulfill my own needs. And so it's almost kind of like you're just hurting yourself over and over with that belief. And you're also destroying your own sense of boundaries, if that makes sense. Because in order to enter somebody else's energetic field or their boundaries, you need to be able to break your own. So what you do to another is what you also do to yourself. But they don't want me to tell you, like, oh, just because you're an energy vampire, you're a bad person. No, they're not trying to have me explain that. They're really saying that, when we need somebody's attention, and, as soon as they come home, we're kind of just like over anxious puppies. I don't know if you guys know dogs very well, but like puppies, when they're babies, they just need you so badly, and it's like if we crave that person, like as soon as they come home or something, that's kind of like an example of energy vampirism, because you could exhaust that person. Give me 1 second. They want me to talk about our boundary field. I feel like somebody here is very insecure, right? Because now I'm starting to read into the group now. I feel like somebody is very insecure. And also, I want to say that, this is a safe space. And I did set up this group reading so that we could share our thoughts and our feelings as much as you wish to. So for me to be explaining who this person is, I would like you to talk back to me and tell me if this is something that you resonate with. Your, your emotional holes, it also matches the frequency of other people here. So if you have this issue, then so might somebody else here, okay? So this person seems very young. I'm pretty sure everybody here is a female because that's what it looks like. But this person is also female because that's what I'm feeling energetically. Okay, for some reason they want me to talk about social distancing. I don't know if it has anything to do with COVID, but like this person, I think, uses social distancing to their advantage and kind of uses it as an excuse to remain a hermit so that they don't really have to be seen. It's almost like they see that they have boundaries, but it's very transparent, very invisible. And like when they walk out in public, you're just afraid that your root insecurities will be exposed. Who shares this feeling? Because I can also feel this way too. Does anybody share this feeling? You can type no, you can type yes. And yeah. Okay, Arhelia says no. And when I say that this is Plumflower Kitten. Oh, Yashi, hey, what's up? And no, okay, perfect. Thanks for letting me know. But this person is also very energetic and very social. Kayla says, I don't think so. I love that you guys are responding. This is perfect. Kind of reminds me of group therapy. In fact, this is kind of how I wanted to set it up. I wanted, open-minded individuals to come into a space where we could get readings and we could, finally have a place where we could share our troubles or what's on our mind. Okay, everybody says I don't think so. That's fine. Let me draw a card. I feel like I need to do that. By the way, what are we hoping to get from this session? Or are you guys just curious? Have you guys ever gotten an angel reading before? And I will be taking individual questions later as well. You never got one before, Kayla? Well, you're in for a treat. Oh, Stacy says it could be me. Beauty Beast. I feel like there's people here that's not supposed to be here. Maybe I don't know how to set up this live. I just recently acted on this curiosity of mine, so this is my first. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for being here. I want to say a while back. Okay. Well, thank you for being really open with me. They're telling me that like some of us may feel like we don't want to share our insecurities so quickly. And you know what? That's completely fine. That's how you feel. And I need to respect that. And I need to be aware of that. Oh, it changed my account. It's Plumflower Kitten and switch on me. Oh, okay. I see. Perfect. Then it's fine. So you know what? I'm not going to push you guys to share if you don't want to. Because I don't want to. I'm still testing the waters and trying to see, how it all works. And sometimes I'll pause. That's just me feeling into the card and to listening to my guides. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay. All right, we got this card, Queen of Fire, and it says, stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Here's what they're showing me. They're saying that, like, we women in this group, you know, including me, we our boundaries, and what I mean by boundaries is it's exactly that, but it's kind of just like something that I'm seeing outside of ourselves. Like, you kind of imagine like a shield, our armor. You know, this is what we use if we come across somebody on the street that we don't feel right about, and we're kind of just like, you know, nah, and you walk away, or you don't have a developed boundary, and you're kind of just like, how can I help you? Even though you don't want to talk to them. So they're saying that this boundary is kind of like an issue that we have. We're actually very, very transparent. However, I think that's just society telling us women. Sorry about that, cat. Laura says I'm bad at boundaries. Yeah, I think it's really hard to have boundaries as women because we're taught, you know, we always have to be considerate. We always have to be gracious. You know, if we're not gracious and kind or nurturing, then we're a bitch, right? Oh my God. Sorry. He really wants to go outside. So yeah, Kayla says same. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. I think I need to let out that cat. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, you guys. Otherwise, he's just going to keep meowing and meowing. Could it be related to a job and the way we are expected to be at work? I mean, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, Stacy? Like, what do you experience? And I'm just taking this cat out so he's not going to interrupt the live. Go on, Betty. All right. Oh, gosh. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that. All right. And so I feel like, you know, you can continue to elaborate and I'll read your comment in a bit, Stacy, but I feel like this expectation was really forced on us. You know, I think, you know, this is just me talking from my thoughts, but I feel like we women, because we're a part of the marginalized group, you know, we're forced to be this way by men or you know, things like that. So I'm an ICU nurse. We have to basically be open to everything. I mean, everything. Doctors, families, so many energies. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's really, really draining too, because you constantly have to be showing your compassionate side. And it's like if you keep like developing that compassionate muscle rather than your muscle of boundary, I think definitely that can also make your boundaries look invisible, because this is kind of like what I'm seeing with us as a group. Somebody here is also a really take charge chick though. In fact, possibly the majority of us are like this. Like, when we have something to say, it's not that we're not afraid. I mean, some of us could be afraid to say it so directly, but especially if we're feisty, you know, if we're kind of like a little agitated or irritated, we're kind of just like, you know, we're very, very blunt in what we want to say to that person. I feel like being a daughter from a much more traditional Asian family, I'm expected to be the warm, welcoming one. And if I don't, it's improper and I get lectured. Oh yeah, totally, totally. I'm an Asian girl and I definitely feel that. Okay. Let's move on to the next card. I feel like somebody wants to ask a question about themselves in particular. So who is this person? And here's the thing with us, like, this card is showing me that, like, yes, you know, We know we're fucking compassionate because we have to show this side of ourselves, you know, when we're out in public 24/7. Like we have to look happy, we have to look sweet, we have to look kind, we have to look considerate and all that stuff. But it's starting to get us really frustrated. Like, cuz we think, okay, here's what I'm shown, what I'm being shown, like, because we are taught to be compassionate. Once we are compassionate, it's kind of like we have this expectation for other people to see us that way. And when people don't think that we're compassionate or kind, then we start to get really upset. So I'm going to do something a little bit interesting, but let's take some time, like a minute, and feel what I just said, or feel what this card just said. Like, do I get upset when people don't see that I'm a kind person? Do I expect people to see me that way as well? And as you're feeling that out, I'm going to give you a little bit more time because I do feel like somebody's still thinking. As we're feeling that out, notice how you become compassionate with yourself, right? It's almost like instead of relying on somebody else to see us in the way that we want to be seen, when we tune in to our emotions and just sit with it and kind of ponder, like, yeah, like, why do I do that? Then we become more accepting and welcoming to ourselves and our emotions. And we start to feel this opening, and we start to feel, how do I explain, like a release, you know, and we feel more free because we felt it out rather than bottling it up. And if you don't feel that way, definitely let me know so that we can explore this together too. And then soon we'll start to do the individual reading. Yeah, Stacy. I kind of felt that you would too. I feel like you're very, very open-minded. And you probably had to develop that open-minded muscle too, because there's so many people that need you. So you're constantly having to be aware and perceptive. Kayla says, I do too. Okay, I'm really, I'm super touched that you guys are starting to feel this release and this sense of healing and compassion towards yourselves. And it's definitely something that we should practice. And maybe we might feel like, oh, I don't deserve to take time out of the day to do this for myself. Maybe you don't have to look at it in terms of, I need to feel a release today. Maybe you can do a little meditation, because when you meditate, you're already feeling into your emotions anyway. Beauty Bee says, me too, but I always feel like it's not enough. What's not enough, Beauty Beast? You feel like being compassionate to others is not enough. Like not enough for them to see you, or not enough to help others? Like what do you mean not enough? Like not enough to be seen? Because sorry, the chat also lags. So I don't know which part you're saying yes to. And guys, the way that I intend to do the individual readings, basically if you have questions that you want to ask your guides or anything you want to know about, I do intend, or rather, my intention was to have your response tie into everybody else's as well. So if you had a certain concern, your concern would be answered, and thus you would also answer somebody else's concern because you guys are like a vibrational match and stuff. Okay, perfect. Laura says, I try being nice to others, but I get taken advantage of a lot. Fuck yeah, I relate. Arhelia says, I have a hard time knowing myself or clearing up my... Wait. Beauty Beast said, like, no matter how much I give, it's not the appropriate amount. Oh, damn. I have a hard time knowing myself or clearing up my thoughts. A stranger just told me I'm very compassionate this morning. It stands out to me that you mention it now. But I'm very, very straightforward no matter what it is. I know I am compassionate, but I don't think it matters to me if I'm noticed. That's really cool. Props to you. Of course, everybody and how they feel, it's unique to you. I just think it's cool that you think that way. So let me answer Beauty Beast's question first. Like, no matter how much I give, it's not the appropriate amount. And Laura, you said, I try being nice to others, but I get taken advantage of a lot. So here's that interesting thing. When I was talking about our boundaries kind of being really transparent rather, and invisible, because it kind of just looks like a really sheer veil that people can like see into us. They can take whatever they want. But we have to realize that we're allowing that to happen. Not as in like, it's your fault that they're treating you like shit. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that like, if we think that we can get what we want by trying to, control somebody else, our boundary is going to be very, very open. And very widely available. How do I explain this? Because I think as women, I don't know if you feel this way, Arhelia, because you seem very, like you said, straightforward. So I feel like this is you're possibly something that we could learn from, somebody we could learn from. But damn, sometimes I lose my track of thought. Hold on. It's basically going back to like, we're taught to be compassionate, and then we expect other people to do something back for us because we're doing something for them. But it's like, I don't think they ever asked for that. You know what I mean? And it's not the appropriate amount. Oh, right. Okay. So if we think that we can do something or like make somebody else act the way that we want based off of how we, say things or do things, suddenly your mind is basically not going to be able to comprehend that you're a separate self. Let me draw a card. Does that make sense? And Laura, you said, I try being nice to others, but I get taken advantage of a lot. It's like, yeah, it's beautiful that you're giving and you're offering your nurturing side, and, you're offering a space of compassion and a place of compassion. But you don't have to, you don't have to be so open all the time. And just because you set up a boundary, it doesn't make you a bitch. You know, that person can think that, and it can affect you, but you can also change the way that you want it to affect you. You know what I mean? Our boundaries are invisible, we think, but that's really just an illusion. It's basically, you know, it's basically how we think. And our spiritual being is way, way more resilient than that. Like, have you ever gone through something really shitty and you're just like, dude, fuck, I'm really strong for going through that. I didn't think that I could do that. Well, you did, because you are strong, you know? Does somebody have an individual question that they want to ask their guides? Because I only have so much knowledge and I have to tap into them for them to give you all, you know, the true reading, I suppose. It's a bittersweet feeling. What do you mean by that, Stacy? And I feel like some of you guys are very, very hungry to learn, how can I be happier? How can I feel more grounded in my own body and my own sense of self? How can I stop feeling the shame about who I am? And I got to tell you, I'm really glad that you feel hungry and you have this real, you know, super desire to learn and to grow and to expand into more of who you are, because your desire manifests. It is a manifester, you know. Laura says, it affects me a lot when they think I'm a bitch when I set a boundary or say no. All right, let me draw a card for you, Laura. Stacey says, it feels reassuring to know that, heck yeah, I'm strong, but that feeling of, wow, I can't believe I even had to go through that. Yeah, right? I'm sure you've gone through a lot, Stacey, at your job. So, Laura, you got the card that says balance. And for some reason, I'm really like drawn to the number 16. Laura says, yes to the happier thing. I struggle with bad depression. I just feel so stuck. Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing that with me. Okay, all right. You know what they're showing me, Laura? They're saying, Laura, you need to draw the fine line between kindness and cooperation or just straight up vengefulness. I'm going to drink some water real quick. It's very much like your energy is very wobbly. Like you don't know when you should, you don't know when to be nice to elicit the reaction that you want from them. And when you're angry, it just seems more like, how come you don't understand me? But it feels more like you're saying to yourself, how come I don't understand myself? And when you kind of show that angry side to people, they're kind of just like, oh shit, like, and it looks like it actually jabs at them. You know, when you get angry or when you turn vengeful, you know, I could see why they're going to call you a bitch or something when you set that boundary, because the way that you respond to them, they think that you're telling them that they're a bad person. And so that's why there's such a reaction. However, you have to know that there are so many answers to the universe, and you can definitely control, you know, the kind of response that you want to get. But I think it's interesting because then there's also the issue of like, I just don't want to feel pain when it comes to other people. Beauty Beast says, it's better to be seen as a bitch than to be constantly taken advantage of, though. When you break, everything shatters. Self-disclosure, I'm going through a major life-changing event, and I'm having to redefine my boundaries. This time, I'm being more firm and closed off. And how's that working for you, Beauty Beast? But Laura, back to you. I sound like an anchor woman. Back to you, Laura. The number 16, I think, when you were a teenager, it was a very interestingly pivotal moment for you because that time you were asserting your asserting your independence, and by kind of showing off this feisty, superior side to you, you did get what you wanted, and people finally noticed you, and you were kind of just like, oh, like, damn, that's how I get what I want. Laura says, been hurt too much, especially when it comes to my love life. Let me finish reading this card real quick. And so, Laura, when you kind of show this nasty side of yours, or like when you get bad, that, as you said, you feel really bad about it. But I think you actually need to see, like, oh yeah, when I was 16, I learned that that's how people listen to me. You've been hurt too much, especially when it comes to your love life. Yeah. Yeah, Laura, as I tap into your energy, I do feel like you use your anger as kind of like a spiky shield. Not a lot of happy people because they don't like that I'm no longer letting folks say or do what I want, but it's something I need to do for me. And yes, I can feel, your self-assurance and your confidence when you say it's something I need to do for me. And the people that don't like it, and they want to change you, those are the people that you can, create some distance with. But you probably already know that. You're probably already doing that. So Laura's reading kind of brings up an interesting theme for us, and it's the topic of anger. Laura, it's very, very good that you're showing your anger because it's actually a release for you. I don't know if you are just like naturally feisty and spicy, but anger makes you feel good. And this is what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking maybe it's because you finally don't have to suppress any of your emotions, or you can finally feel confident because anger is Larry's like, I'm an Aries, ha. But anger is when you can, shoot out something without having to second guess yourself, without having to think if you're going to bother people by being angry. So you feel good when you're angry. I think, interestingly, though, the problem with Asian women, or maybe just women in general, but I'm speaking from somebody of Asian descent, so if you resonate, then that's great. But it's hard to feel anger because when you show your anger, other people look at you like you're a bad person, right? But then if a dude is angry, he's just a dick, right? He's just having a bad day. I feel like I have so much love, but I get disappointed so easily. Okay, I'm glad that you said that. Let me finish the theme of anger, and then I'll be able to read for you, Stacy. Okay, somebody's grandparent is here. Not at my door, but a spirit. Beauty Bee says, I don't know about anyone else, but I have plenty of family love and friend love, but romantic love is devastating. Oh, okay, interesting. Interesting how we're kind of shifting into this thing of love. Maybe that's kind of like what this red color is about too. Let me ask my guides what I should focus on. All right, so this grandparent that's coming forth, and of course, this is somebody that is passed. This grandparent is bringing up the topic of bitterness. I don't know, it's kind of like bitterness wrapped with the emotion of anger. And she's saying that this is kind of like your family lineage emotion, like your generation's theme. Bitterness and anger. What a nice cocktail. Okay, listen, I think I might be semi-opposite beauty beast. I feel like I'm not very close with my family, but I have a lot of love in my romantic relationship. Interesting. And this card also says balance too. But yeah, so this grandparent is talking about bitterness and anger and loneliness too. And what this tells me is that somebody here, or if it's one of you, or if it's, a couple of you or all of you, oh, there you go. Yeah, I was thinking like, this grandparent feels like she's Asian or something, but Stacy, you know what? Maybe it's both of your grandparents. But anyways, um, this emotion of anger, bitterness, and loneliness, it just tells me that like you don't know what it's like for your emotions to be seen. That's why you feel lonely. That's why you feel so resentful. And it feels weird because now she's getting emotional and she's saying like, I wish I could have been there for you, but I just couldn't. I don't know. She's saying something like that. And she's very emotional about it. She's just saying like, I wish I just could have hugged you in that moment. I wish I could have just protected you like a mama bear. But I don't know, it kind of just feels like she was torn from you. Like not stolen, but nobody let your grandma see you. No, let me ask her like why this is so significant. Oh, you heard Alzheimer's, fuck. um Whoa, 10 years, that's a long time. Bitterness, loneliness runs in the family. I'm not trying to be the next notch because it all starts with a breakup and a strong soul tie. Interesting. um I don't know. It just looks like when you were a child, nobody saw you for who you were. Nobody really cared for your emotions. They didn't really see you and thus your emotions. And your grandma, she wanted to be there to treat you properly. But for some reason, she just couldn't. I feel like we need to get on with the reading. Why is this important? Okay, she's saying that the reason why this is important is because you need to know your foundation in order for you to have clarity into the future. So once you know the foundation and what started everything and a little piece of why you think the way you are today, it's going to help you to like jump start your progression into feeling more comfortable in your own skin and being able to breathe and being able to love. So now we're going to talk about love because we're saying we have issues with feeling like we have a lot of love, but getting really upset when we don't have it back. Is that what you said, Stacy? Oh, you get disappointed so easily. And having a lot of love in one sector, but having a shit love life in another. So I wanna do a little boom, boom, boom with these cards. I feel like this will help heal us in one aspect. Okay, so the first card we got is the Moon. Archangel Haniel is the angel of this card. It says important psychic insights, events behind the scenes. Release fears that hold you back, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if this is very important for you guys to read. But let me look into it. Like, what is going on with this, like, weird balance of love? Okay. All right, first of all, we have past life issues. So if you guys don't know what a past life is, it's basically stuff that you've gone through in lives before this one, that's playing itself in your current life. So if we feel like something is holding us back, or we feel like we just can't move forward and we just don't know why, it really feels like it's a past life thing. And you know, it's interesting because I see this guide and it kind of looks like I don't know, you just have this guide and like he's surrounded in gold color, and he's saying that whatever is holding you back or whatever you feel you can't move forward from, it really feels like it's like a boulder, like on your shoulders or your head, and you just can't move. Like, I don't know, like, do you guys know what I'm saying? So the thing that I need to help us figure out is how can I help you guys to move this boulder so that you guys can finally move lighter and more freer in your future. And this card, it literally says time is of the essence, or a sudden event that needs immediate attention. So it does feel like something needs to happen quickly. Like, I don't know, I'm starting to feel like sweaty, and I feel like almost like I've drank coffee, like, like we need to go, go, go. Excuse me. Let me see what this is about. Okay. I get it. They're basically saying, like, if you feel restless, you know, at a time when you should be resting, you know, I definitely feel this way all the fucking time. You're supposed to be taking a break, but you just feel like you need to do something. You need to do something, otherwise your life won't move forward. You're stuck, and so you need to do something, and that's going to, you know, answer your problems and you know, capitalism stuff and Western thinking and all that. Um, that's basically you subconsciously sensing that something is holding you back, that your past life is holding you back. And because you feel held back, then you feel like you need to do something. So it's not that you're actually stuck, and it's not that, you know, nothing is happening for you. You're just being triggered by this past life feeling or event. Okay, hold on. And here is how you can move that boulder. It's self-love. You're just like, oh man, that is something I could buy. So it's self-love. Um, because what I'm seeing in my vision is you pouring love onto yourself and how you feel and your insecurities and your doubts, your shame, you know. Yeah. You guys are like, ugh. But once you do that, then you're just like, oh fuck, there's no boulder. Or like, I don't know, you can feel that boulder being lifted. It's kind of like, you know, if you feel stuck and you feel restless, or you feel like you need to do something that's going to fulfill and confirm your identity in this Western world or this capitalistic society, then you tell yourself, I am the way that I am, or, you know, something along that. I don't need to perform in order to be. I can be and, you know, be happy or be perfect. Kayla says, I've been feeling very stuck because I applied to medical school and I haven't heard much back at all. So it's making me very restless and it's hard because I can't do anything but wait. Yeah, but then you get stuck in a loop because you're just like, oh, I'm about to move forward, but fuck, like I'm scared. What if I'm not accepted? And and it's kind of like you kind of go backwards. But then you need to pour love onto yourself and be like, even if I don't get this, I'm meant to be more aligned to something else, you know? Or if I do get this, then I am meant to be here. And the issue that we have with love in, you know, whether it's with friends or with our romantic partner or our family, um, you know, because you guys did say like, I feel like I'm good at this, but not at these two, or I feel like I'm good at these two, but not this one. How weird, you know? Or I feel like, you know, when I love, I'm not getting what I want in return. Self-love is going to heal and answer all your problems. Because what you guys are really telling yourself is I'm not good enough. And every time you know, perform in a certain way and hope to elicit that response back from what you hope to get from that person, you basically unconsciously keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I have to get it from somebody else. And that makes you think that your identity is rooted in lack. My issue is I gave so much of myself away that even though I know my own self-worth and others tell me, oh, because the one person I love wholeheartedly but left isn't here, doesn't say it. I don't know how to get back to my majestic self. But love is shown in so many ways. Oh yeah, totally. Definitely. I mean, I feel like that's just like, you know, how do I say this? I'm not a physics girl, but it's written in like physics, because one time I channeled God and he told me that like I am love, and because I am everywhere and everything is love, like even what makes up these cards and stuff. Okay, so okay, 1 second. Let me do a reading for Beauty Beast. I feel like this is going to answer a lot of our questions too. Ooh. Okay, ooh, you got the card that says blessing. All right, they're basically saying that this is a blessing in disguise. So you're saying, okay, so much even though I know mine so good. Okay, so you're saying that basically you gave yourself away to somebody else in order to solidify a connection, right? Like I'm not saying it completely right, but I've also done that too. It's actually how do I say this? I want to say that it's like enmeshment / codependency stuff, where, you know, I've done that too. Like you think like, oh, like if I have this person and I give them my all, then my existence here on earth is going to be solid or something like that. But they're basically saying that this is a blessing in disguise. And I kind of wrote this on my blog, actually on my website, hearttoheartreadings.com. But for me to say that you're an energy vampire, there's kind of like an implicit message like of you're a bad person. But energy vampirism is kind of something that we all do anyway, especially as women. When we think that we can be nice and kind and hope to get something back in return, that's actually, you know, a form of like energy taking. You know what I mean? So Beauty Beast. The reason why this is a blessing in disguise for you is because this is showing you how, transparent your boundaries were. If you were able to think in that time that this is the best thing for you to do for yourself, to give your all and your soul to somebody else so that they could stay, that is telling of your original root boundary, your original fracture. And so this person that left, it's actually a blessing because that's showing you can live a better life, and your original trained way of thought is not correct. And if anything, you are onto a better life anyway, because you're choosing for yourself, like, there's some people I just don't want in my life, And you could see that manifestation happening already. And I feel like this is a time where, like, all of us are kind of just like, oh shit, like, wait, I can do that too. Or like, wait, so I don't have to keep living this way? What do you mean that there's another way of living? And Beauty Beast, your angels and your guides are saying, you're way wiser, way mature, way more intelligent than any of these guys. I don't know why any of these guys comes up, but I think that you settle for less when it comes to dating and romance. You're way smarter than these guys. So you already know that you shouldn't settle. I think they're telling me to tell you that timing is going to be just right. Like, how do I say it? Like, there's divine timing for you to meet your soulmate, basically. All right, Stacy said, I don't mean to jump, but I'd love to know. Wait, what? But, oh yeah, I'd love to know what you see in my future. Perfect. Yeah, let's do it. By the way, guys, I don't know. How do you feel about this? I know this is a trial run, but I am trying to make this a part of my business. I just don't know if it's profitable. Like, how much do you guys think you would pay for something like this, if you don't mind me asking? And Kayla, I do see your question. I will get to that. Oh, perfect. I'm glad that you're really enjoying it. All right, Stacy. Ooh. All right, here's a card that you got. This is a good card. What I see in your future. The card says the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents, or contracts. Oh, you would bring a group of friends in? That's awesome. All right. I feel like you're going to be taking on a leadership role, Stacy. I know you work in healthcare. I just don't. I don't remember what section you said that you work. Like a nurse or something. Oh, ICU nurse. There you go. You're going to be in a position where you will have more authority and more power. However, the issue is that it just feels like around you, your workspace is very disorganized. And I'm not saying that you made it disorganized. It just feels like this is how your workplace is run, which is very disorganized. And suddenly you're in charge and you're kind of just like, well, fuck, like I'm, of higher authority, but I don't know how to work through this crap. I'm enjoying it too. I've seen other readers do one free question, but a more in-depth reading for as low as $5. But it's up to you. I'd recommend this any day. I mean, I already do readings on my YouTube channel. I do $7 for a question. It's not my favorite because I feel like people aren't getting the most bang out of their buck. It's not as comprehensive as the one card reads on my website. I just don't know how profitable this will be. And anyway, Stacy, like, how do you feel about what I just said so far about your reading? Like, because I do need some feedback for me to give you a more accurate answer. And do you guys have any like things you would like me to add in if you ever would want to join in the future? That way I could know what I'm missing. Okay, you're excited but slightly burnt in my job now. Definitely. Um, I mean, I'm not saying that this is something for you to be excited about because it does look very tiresome. Oh, you know what they're saying? They're saying that you need to work on receiving because when somebody offers you something and it's not what you want, you still tell them like, "Oh, perfect, I'll take it," you know? So, if this offer comes to you and you're aware of how, daunting it'll be, you don't need to take it. Or you can ask them, "Hey, I've been feeling like this is too tiresome. Is there another role where I get higher pay?" Or I don't know. I feel like people will be like, "Ah, like what?" I don't know. It does feel like, your guides want you to be very explicit. Yeah. So say no, boundaries again. Um, but Stacy, more so for you, this is about strengthening your boundaries. Do you want to say no? Do you want to say yes? Like, what do you really want, And you want to be a mama. You would be an amazing mom. So, if you want to be a mama, I just don't know how this would fit into your life, a higher position role. And they're having me want to say something to you, Stacy. Oh, they're saying that you don't need to take what you can get, Stacy. There are some things that you can put away. You don't need to help everybody. You're a giving lady. I feel like I want to say mama. You're a giving mama and you want to be super nurturing and you want to be able to contain people's emotions and any struggles or their pain. But there's only so much that you can take on. In fact, it feels like you can only take on this much as opposed to this much right now, or even in general, because I feel like your mood, you're not a quick paced person. You like to take things very deliberately. You enjoy, taking things slowly. It kind of feels like luxury for you. So speak up, they're saying. Basically, that's what they're saying. And, know what you want. You already know that, but now you have to be like, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to do that, Ooh, sperm donor. Damn, that sounds exciting. All right, Kayla. Okay, I'd love to ask the guys what they see for my future with medical school, if I might get good news soon. Yeah, Stacy, your guides are like super extra sweet, just like you. I find that people's guides really match their human's personality. Okay. Looks like we got. Why are there so many cards coming out? Wow. Okay. Okay. So, Kayla, what I feel is that you're actually at a crossroads between two options. Like, there's two conflicting options, and it's causing you to feel very hesitant about making 100% decision. Does that resonate with you? And I actually think, Kayla, do you remember in the beginning how I said there's somebody who's using social distancing as an excuse to be a hermit? You got the card that says the hermit. And they're actually saying that it's a good time for you to be doing this right now, because there's a lot of self-discovery to be made in isolation. So they actually, they're saying that you feel a sense of shame around you not being so social because you carry like this energy of shame in your auric field. It's almost like people can see it. You know what I mean? But that's just you trying to figure you out. Kayla, are you here? Okay. And Kayla, what did you say? Something about your future with medical school? What they see for your future with medical school? Yeah, it really actually does feel like there is a school or a university or whatever. I don't know how medical school is. It looks like there's an opening for you. It just looks like this opening is a little far away right now. So it seems like now it's just a matter of timing. It does feel like there is a school that wants to accept you, though. I think that they think that you're very bright and a prime candidate. So will they accept you? I want to say yes. I do want to say yes. If not, though, you will find something. I don't know. It just feels like there's light at the end of the tunnel for you. So that's always good news. Kayla says, oh my God, I feel like the crossroads might be with my location. Maybe. I don't know. It does feel like there's just something that's holding you back from making a firm decision. But they're saying, don't think too much with your mind. Let go of the anxiety and of the overthinking. And they're saying, okay, they're saying, Kayla, you're a chatterbox in your mind. You're always like, I don't know, that just keeps happening in your head. My ear is ringing. It was ringing just how it was earlier for Stacy. They're saying that, Kayla, this is how you're self-isolating yourself. How do I, can you come back? Because they like went away for a little bit. I can't feel them. It's kind of like you're talking to yourself because there's nobody for you to talk to. You're talking to yourself now, but this is kind of like turning itself inwards. It's causing its own thing. It's like you talk to yourself, and then when you go out, suddenly you're wearing like this black jacket and this hoodie, and you just don't want anybody to see you. And I do feel shame by kind of isolating myself because people always expect me to be very social and extroverted. Oh my God, I do that, the hoodie. Yeah, that's funny. Because it's so weird because you're talking to somebody like somebody is actually there, like it's a good friend, but then you go out and you're just like, nobody look at me. um, why is this so important? They're saying that you're doing this as a way to distract yourself. You're actually doing this to quell your anxiety about school. And this energy is, I don't know, it's so weird. It's all happening within. It's nothing that's happening outside of you. And so you kind of have like these, not necessarily mood swings, but just a mood shift. It's interesting. I think they're telling me that you think you're going nuts, like you're going psycho, but really, you're actually trying to like quell your anxiety. Um, but your mood shifts when you do that, and that energy has to go somewhere else. Yes, there will be random times during the day with mood shifts. Yeah, so one moment you're just like, oh, Kayla, like you talk in the mirror, and you're just like, oh, you look so beautiful with that lipstick. And then you go out, and then it just becomes really dramatic. It just almost looks like you're depressed. Yeah. So I feel like this is a sign for all of us that are here to go out and socialize with friends right now, because I think us not being able to talk to somebody, um, it's starting to impact us, because humans are social beings. And if we don't have somebody to talk to, then it's kind of just like we self implode. Is there somebody else that has a question? Because I feel like this live isn't completely over. I'm just gonna grab my charger. Okay. I just want to make sure that everybody feels like they got some form of self-care through a reading. I don't want somebody to walk away feeling like they didn't get anything. And there's somebody that has not been talking. Arhelia, are you here? Laura, you wanted to ask about your future. Stacy, you want to know what spirits have to say about your relationship. Okay, let's do Laura first, because it looks like hers came up in the chat. Arhelia, where you been? Do you have anything you want to ask? Okay. All right, Laura. Laura, so you got the card that says time to take a rest or vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. All right. So Laura, what I see is that you feel like your future or your goals look like they're miles away, because it kind of just looks like you're standing on an island, and then the other island that you want is separated by a body of, ocean. There's something itching my eye. But anyway, and how you're going to meet that gap, Laura, is through self-introspection. You have to come up with ways, like write it down. I'm seeing you writing in a journal. You have to come up with ways to think about what you want. But it kind of just also feels like you don't know how to get there. Like it almost feels like you're stuck. And so this kind of reminds me of that boulder, that past life thing that's kind of holding us back. I think you need to be able to talk yourself through the process as if you were your own best friend, and be like, Laura, it feels hard, but everything is going to be okay. Like one step at a time, that kind of a thing. Like it almost feels like you need to be brave, They also want you to meditate, though. I don't know. It kind of feels like on the verge of sleep, like the energy of sleep. Okay. Like, I know, you guys, that, like, because of COVID, we don't know where to direct our energy. And so it turns into anxiety, and it turns into, like, a mental funk. But I really feel like you need to go within, Laura. And it's okay to get distracted. Being distracted is a normal part of meditation. We have wasted so much of our lives, and I don't want to keep wasting it. Man, just trouble in my current vision never gets anywhere. And I just feel so very invested, but I don't know if I should part. Arhelia, I'm actually going to leave your reading for the last one, because I feel like it needs to be last. Stacy, let me get onto yours really quick. What does Spirit say about my relationship? For Stacy. Stacey, why do I feel like there's some kind of like distance between you and your partner in your relationship? At the same time, I also feel like you guys are really good. You guys are really good together. I don't know. It's so weird. Whenever I get this card, Stacey, it's always about professional help. I think that you guys could use a couples therapist, because it's not that you guys aren't good together. It's more like, I don't know, it's like you guys have a lack of communication, maybe, because your personalities fit, but there's that connection is like invisible. And Beauty Beast said, I want to know who my guides are so I don't randomly just call out to them. I also want to know if my intuition is developing. I feel like I'm dealing with a soulmate separation, but I keep doubting that he is. If I could figure it out and I could stop asking them to help me with it, they must be tired of it by now. Beauty Beast, your guides I don't think they ever get tired, to be honest. If anything, it looks like your guides are very interested in how the process is kind of unraveling itself as you learn. Aw, okay, Arhelia, I'll get to that, okay? All right, so Beauty Beast, you got the sun. They're basically saying you can do it. You have the intuition to be able to talk to your guides. It's not about, I don't want to bother them, because you're not going to bother them. You're just not. Don't think of your guides like a toxic friend. So in terms of developing, yeah, I would say that it is developing. It's almost coming to a head, if I could say that. Like, it's like you're beginning to notice that your intuition is something that you can rely more and more upon. In terms of the soulmate separation, I don't think that relationship is healthy, actually. Because it feels like this distancing, that whoever this person is doing the distancing or the cold shoulder, it's more of a manipulation tactic. It doesn't feel healthy, and it just doesn't feel like this person is out for your best interest. I think, like, thinking that we annoy our guides is kind of normal, because I think that way too, and I'm an angel reader, but I think that's just like how we were taught. Like, we can't, show our emotions. We can't seem big, if that makes sense. You're welcome, Beauty Beast. Arhelia. Okay. All right, Arhelia, let's get to your reading. So, Arhelia, they're telling me that you can't control the direction of your future with your mind, right? Basically, your worries aren't going to be able to predict what's going to happen. Okay. So, I see what you mean by you don't know whether you should invest in it or not, because it does feel like the relationship is kind of dying, yet you are puzzled on, you feel stuck, basically. You're welcome, Stacey. And Arhelia, this is something that actually all of us deal with. Why? I feel like this is something we all deal with, and I haven't even gotten to the reading yet. Let's see. Question. There's something about you and family and creativity. I think that you have zapped your sense of logic on a romantic partner. Does that resonate with you so far, Helia? Yay, you're welcome. Woohoo, I'm glad that you liked it. Oh, my eyes are itchy. So, Arhelia, you said I'm having a hard time understanding that. Basically, like when we want somebody to stay in our life, sometimes what we may do is give them our all, give them our soul, give them our energy, invest all of our energy and attention onto that person so that they stay, hopefully. And I'm not sure in what way you are doing this, but there is a part of your energy, or your energy that is zapped from this relationship. Do you resonate with that first? I want to see if you resonate with that. Okay, there you go. So you resonate with that. Now, because you have given your energy to this person and you feel like you don't have enough right now, um, or in the past, you haven't been sharing some of that energy with your loved ones or with the people that needed it most. And that is actually, doubling over and draining you even more because you're not relishing in that love, attention, and compassion and affection with those loved ones. And what they're saying is that your creativity, and what would creativity look like for her? Creativity, they're saying for you, is shown through giving love and through giving affection. So basically, because you've exhausted your resources on this one guy and you've isolated yourself from the people that matter and that really love you, you've become an empty cup, and you've become a shell of yourself. And this has happened to me, and I don't think that this is a rare occurrence either. But they want you to just know that the aspect of you isolating yourself has also drained you because you're not receiving their love and their care. However, the people that truly matter are still there. They haven't left. And so that's kind of something that you need to know too, is that the people that are meant to be in your life or that want to be in your life, they're never going to leave. Never. Like the people that truly love you, do you think that they wouldn't show up on your door if you needed them? Beauty bees. Hell, I feel like that too. Yeah. So it's not that you're wasting your life. Or maybe yes, technically that is happening. But you're also feeling that way because you don't have energy and the love from others. And you're saying a sibling passed very recently. I know he's at peace, but I think of him a lot when I do, you dream of him. Okay, let's see. Is your sibling like a male? Like a brother? And was he like I don't know. He comes to me. Okay, yes, he comes to me as young, but he looks like he's 30 or older than 30, maybe even 40. I don't know, somewhere within that range. Like maybe he like is young, but he has like a lot of facial hair. I don't know. But does that does that resonate with you so far? 31 this past January. Okay. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's actually sounds very right for somebody to feel young yet they look a little old. No facial hair. Okay, that's fine. Um ooh. Okay. So your brother is coming to tell you, Arhelia, there's somebody that is going to come into your life and who will love you completely and thoroughly for who you are and for who you aren't. And what I mean by aren't, or by who you aren't, is somebody that loves you even though you're angry at them. Somebody that loves you even though if you don't want to talk to them. Somebody that loves you even though you're being like a 5-year-old. And he's saying, Arhelia, you deserve this. And I'm getting chills when he said that. He's like, you know, Arhelia, as your big brother, it's almost like he says this constantly. Like, as your big brother, you know, I'm always here to take care of you. Just ask. Like, he just sounds like tired. um, he just sounds like a tape recorder. Like, oh my God, Arhelia, I tell you this like 100 times a day. Yeah. It's funny. He's kind of just like, and like his voice is just very like flat. Like, come on, dude. Um, this is somebody that you are actually going to be starting um, a life with. Like, you guys will be moving in together. You guys will have a dog together if you like dogs. I don't know if you want children, but he's very up to having a family as well. This future person. Okay. Now, what do you want to share? Because I know this is very emotional. Okay. Arhelia, he says that there is nothing that you could have done to save him or to prevent his death from happening. He says, Arhelia, you're taking up way too much of the responsibility, almost as if, you know, because he was the big brother and he left, now you have to fulfill the role of responsible person. And he's saying, Arhelia, don't do that. um, like, why is he like so like agitated with you? It's funny. Um, he's very strict too. Like, he's like, Arhelia, I'm your big brother, and I will always fulfill that role. So you don't need to do that. Like, he's like, Arhelia. Okay. He wants me to mention my private readings. If you ever want to talk to your brother again or your guides, I do a 1 card read for $12, 2 for $20, and there's an hour for $100. Of course, you're welcome to choose whichever one you want. I don't know why. He just wants me to tell you that. What else does he want to say? He's like, Finn, good, done. I'm worried for his twin that he left behind. Let me see what he wants to say about that. All right. He says he's going to take care of it. You know, it's kind of like he's reiterating, like, dude, stop taking all the responsibility. Like, he's showing me that this is just way too much for you to handle, so you shouldn't expect yourself to handle that. Like, give the bread and butter to your brother, he's saying. And he's not sad that he died. He's sad that you guys are grieving, that you guys are missing out on him. But he's showing me that, like, just because you can't see him, it doesn't mean that you can't feel him. All right, Arhelia. I'm gonna actually end this live now because I feel like we're done, and that you can be at peace so far with what he's come through with. You guys, if you like this, let me know if you want to do it again. I'm thinking about how I want to charge it. So I'm putting an hour worth away next paycheck. I have a lot of questions in my head. It's funny. Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to talk about our dynamic as an Asian woman and what we share. Oh, thank you guys. You guys are just wonderful ladies, and thank you for showing me love and for sharing the love and for sharing the space with me. I would shake your hand or give you a hug, but we're not really here together in the physical. So if you don't have enough money, Laura, just subscribe. And let me know who you are when I go live this weekend. And then as a new sub, you can get a free one. So if you can do that too. All right. Go onto my website, hearttoheartreadings.com, if you want to do another read, okay? Oh, you don't have a job. Yeah, just get a free one on my YouTube live. All right. Bye. Thanks for joining. Perfect. Bye, guys.